Hello, everyone. I I didn't make a video yesterday, as you know. I went to the hospital. My mom had her surgery yesterday. We were supposed to be there at 9:15. I picked her up at 9 o'clock. Drove up to the hospital. We got there, waited around a few minutes. They uh, called her in and everything. We went to her room. They're getting her ready. And then they sent me back to the lobby so they can prep her up. And when they got her all fixed up and ready, then I can go back in there and visit for a little bit before they took her in for surgery. Then the doctor had emergency surgery, so uh, she had to wait until that surgery was done before he can do her. Meanwhile, she hasn't eaten since 9 p.m. the day before, and here it was almost noon when he come back for her to have her surgery. So that's 15 hours right there with non-eating or drinking. And I had breakfast around 7 that morning, and then I was there from 9 to 12, and I was starting to get hungry, but I didn't say anything because, well, Mom hasn't eaten all night or all morning, so if she can do that, then maybe I could do that too. So I went ahead and decided that I'm just going to sacrifice eating while she wasn't eating. And then they had got her ready, and 3 or 4 different people came in one at a time. I'm your anesthesiologist, and I'll be doing this. And then the next person come in. Well, I'm going to be giving you a stomach tap. And he goes, that's when you poke a needle inside the stomach, and they put pain medicine in there and stuff to numb the area where they're going to do surgery, so it stays numb, like when you get a shot in your mouth to get a tooth expelled, extracted, whatever, and how it stays numb for a while. This here stays numb for a real long time. Anyway, they gave her that, not with me in there, but that's what they're going to do when they get her ready for surgery. And she she told me, this is going to be easy. Just get in there, and then it'll be all done, and then go home and back to life. And I can climb trees. She was using that as exaggeration, but she did say that. And she is an ornery lady, and I love her. But I just want to, tell you a little bit of how ornery she is. But she's, this is going to be easy. Well, anyway, we got through that, and then they had me go to the waiting room and gave me her number. So they don't go by names, they go by numbers. So if I want to know where she's at in the building or what part of the surgery she's in and stuff, I go to the desk and look at the chart and find her number, and it tells me where she's at, so I know how far along she is, when she's in recovery, and blah blah blah. And then she came back. It was like about 1:45, and she came back from surgery and everything. She's still kind of groggy and stuff. And so I got to go back to her room and sat there, and we tried to visit, and she's like, you go ahead and take a nap, because I was, at that time, it was almost 2 o'clock. I was really hungry, and I started to get a headache, because if I don't eat, I'll get a real bad migraine. And then after a while, my hands will start shaking, and it's like I have to get some protein or something inside of me. And anyway, I was laying my head against the wall and trying to take a little nap while she was sleeping. And then the nurse come in and offered. I go, she hasn't eaten since yesterday, and here it is, almost 3 o'clock. Is she allowed to have something to eat, or is she getting ready to go home so we can get her something to eat? But she says she has to pee and drink water without throwing up before we can let her go home. Well, they gave her, they asked her what she wanted. She said, I want Jell-O and cheese. So they brought her back some some string cheese and some Jell-O, and she ate that, and she drank some Sprite that they had. Was that Sprite? Yeah, Sprite. And then maybe 20 minutes later, she go like she's gonna get sick. Just And so I was looking for a trash can. I didn't even have time, so I grabbed the nurse button and pushed the nurse button to tell them that, she's throwing up. And she leaned over and was throwing up on the floor. And wasn't too long when the nurses came in and they said, oh, and then they said, it's okay. I mean, it's the anesthesia that made you sick and everything. And so they keep on giving her something to drink all the time so that way she don't dehydrate, even though she has her IV with her saline solution. But then the nurse told me, is she dizzy? And my mom said, yes, I'm very dizzy. But my mom, she just has staples in her stomach, from having surgery, and she's forcing herself to sit up. When I had my hernia surgery when I was 7 years old, I couldn't sit up. But the nurses put my bed all the way up. You know how they have the little thing that makes it come up on its own to get me up? Oh, I still remember that. I was only 7 years old. Anyway, Mom she wanted to get out of there. She goes, I'm gonna get this, and then she said, oh, and she started getting sick again. So I found the trash can and let her vomit in it, and then the nurse came in and said, oh, she's still going. Then she gave her some crackers and some apple juice. I think I'd rather have the Sprite with my crackers, but apples and cracker juice, and crackers and apple juice, and then later on she threw that up too, and when the nurse said that she had to pee and be able to not be dizzy and stuff, I go, maybe you should just take a nap, get rid of this dizziness, because that's what I do when I get lightheaded from not eating or whatever, because I was really not feeling up to anything yesterday, but I was there for my mom and I helped her. And then when she finally was getting ready to go, they said she went to the bathroom and she actually went pee, but yet she couldn't hold down stuff. She kept throwing stuff up. She threw up everything while she's in the bathroom. The nurse says she can't go home. So they admitted her to the hospital, even though it was just for a few hours, just to get her. They gave her 2 different kinds of medication to help with the nausea, to help her calm her insides down or whatever, and then she went to sleep. And then they said come back at like 7:30, and that was like all day at the hospital. It was awful. Anyway, I wanted to make her something for her stitches when they pull those staples out, but the staples aren't going out until the 27th. But I have my handy book here for my oils, and I'm going to look up the mix that I'm going to mix up for her, which was scarring. And then I'll share with you the oils that I'm going to mix up for her, and I'm going to put it in a spray bottle, so if there is pain, she can just spray it on there, on the scar itself, and let it. The oils know what to do once they touch the skin. Like you get an oil, and you know what it's for, but you don't know where to put it. That you can put it on the bottom of your foot, and it'll still do what it needs to do, as long as it touches the skin, because it don't take very long for the oils to get into the body and do their job. You look up the scar to minimize the scar. Yes. Okay, let's see here, and I can let you know in case you have scars that you don't want to be seen or whatever, to help them be smaller and heal faster. The recipe I'm looking at right now is scar tissue 536 to 549. So turn page 536. This book is really awesome. If you don't have one, you can go through the internet and order yourself one, and then you can study up on everything. Then if you really want to have um, oils in your house. Let me see. Scars. Scar tissue. Scar tissue is the fibrous connective tissue that forms a scar and can be found on tissue in the body where an injury or surgery or cut or disease has taken place and then healed. And it's thicker and paler and denser than the surrounding tissues because it has a limited blood supply. And you can use, there's a blend here, 4 drops myrrh, 3 drops lavender, 2 drops hilcristrum, and 1 drop of royal Hawaiian sandalwood. Put those together and put those on the scar. It'll help heal it and help it to be smaller than sticking out, like some scars get kind of wide and large, and if you don't want them to be seen so much, you can put that on there and it'll help them to be less noticeable. And that's what I'm going to make her. I have until the 27th. I still need Royal Hawaiian sandalwood because I don't have that. And I've been looking for my hilcristrum, which I know I have some. But if I can't find it, I'll have to buy some more. But I have until the 27th, so I have time to get that made. But I wanted to share with you the recipe. 4 drops myrrh, 2 drops lavender, 2 drops hilcristrum, and 1 drop Royal Hawaiian sandalwood. So, I hope that this was informative on why I wasn't on here yesterday. I sometimes things happen and I just can't get a video out. As I got home, like I said, I had a migraine and I had it all day today and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. I ate, but I couldn't get rid of it. And finally I just broke down. I used peppermint, I used acetaminophen, and then finally I just took a nap, and that got rid of it. But I ate also. But I was like, maybe it's just the exhaustion from being cooped up in that old hospital all day long, and the stress of my mom. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I guess that's all I have for you today. And I will see you guys tomorrow on a better day. You have a good day. Ta-ta.